Hello, I am Matthew Brosio, student of UT Arlington College of Nursing and Health Innovation in the Leadership and Complex Health Systems course. I am going to do a book review on the book What Were They Thinking? Unconventional Wisdom About Management by Jeffrey Pfeffer. First of all, Jeffrey Pfeffer is a professor of organizational business at Stanford University. He writes a bi-weekly online column for Fortune magazine, and he is a Richard I. Irwin Award winner. The purpose of the book was to educate the reader in small and easily digestible chapters about the challenges faced by modern executives, also to correct misconceptions and myths about management and kind of give strategies for combating those misconceptions. And then kind of at the end of each chapter, he has options for further study into each subject, as each subject in the chapters is a little less in-depth than they could be, but it provides a good jumping off point. The target audience of this book was, per Jeffrey's own words, leaders of organizations, employees of organizations, and those just wishing to understand what organizations are trying to accomplish a little bit better. Basically, it sounds like he's trying to target anybody who would have a passing fancy at how management it works, is supposed to work, and often doesn't work. The strengths of the book are that it's easily readable. The verbiage is not super technical. It's not a difficult read by any means. It has shorter chapters, which is good for using as a reference later on. You're not having to search through 40 pages to figure out what you're looking for. None of the chapters are more than a few pages. The examples he lists are plenty, and they stretch into many different organizations and several different industries, including airlines, healthcare. He points out flaws noted in other industries without sounding like he's trying to pass judgment. He mentions several times people he's worked with, organizations he's worked with, and the flaws there, and also the strengths in these industries and how they've been able to change for the better in some instances and not change with the times and ultimately go bankrupt in other cases. And then when he does point out these flaws, he offers solutions instead of just pointing out the flaws and leaving it to the reader to kind of figure out what went wrong. However, weaknesses with this book, though those examples he gives do stretch into many different fields, and he does mention healthcare, most are from the same few companies. He mentions DaVita, Dialysis Group, Southwest Airlines, among others. Those are kind of his main go-to example companies, though. Much of his perspective is that from the corporate executive, and kind of ignores the frontline staff and the challenges they face. Just having worked in the front lines myself, I noticed some of the things he says would seem kind of outlandish if presented to somebody making an hourly wage at the front of a store as opposed to somebody in a boardroom. And then, like I said, the examples are a little less applicable to healthcare, specifically nursing, because they are more geared towards a corporate structure rather than hospitals or nonprofit organizations. I believe the author has achieved his objectives. He presented all the information he stated he was going to present. He engages the reader. It was actually an interesting read. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to sit down and read it all in one go, but I did. And then even on Amazon.com, it has a 4.4 out of 5-star rating. All the more recent ratings or reviews were positive. I believe that he takes the time to point out flaws in management structures, such as ignoring, even when they know what needs to be fixed, they tend to come up with excuses rather than actually taking the action needed to fix the errors. I would recommend this book. It was, like I said, it was interesting to me. I would recommend it for, as he said, people in leadership positions, people hoping to one day be in a leadership position, and anybody who just kind of has an interest in management strategies or how some of these companies get to where they are today. It's not a difficult read by any means, and like I said, it's very interesting. It was a good read. As far as any further action on this, after reading it, I've noticed he has, and plan on picking up some other books by Jeffrey Pfeffer, including Power: Why Some People Have It and Others Don't, and Leadership BS: Fixing Workplaces and Careers One Truth at a Time. And just as a reference, I think this book would work well, something to kind of flip through if you're having a challenge, kind of see how others have done it. He states in the book that there is no one solution, and he can't offer specific solutions because every company, every organization is obviously a different entity, and their challenges faced cannot be one-size-fits-all solutions. And then that's it.